this pillar. And I think that the PF government performed very well under this particular pillar, where the introduction of the social cash transfer and many other social protection programs were introduced in many of these areas. Madam Chairperson, your own MPs, Madam Chairperson, are not bothered every month by their grandmothers or mothers. They send me so much, because they now have their own money, they have their own income. So these are some of the programs that we want to see continue under the 8th National Development Plan. So, Honorable Minister, what we know for certain is that COVID came in along the way. So some of these programs that were planned for under the 7th National Development Plan may not have been completed. So please, as we finalize the 8th National Development Plan, let us see completion and also continuity from there going forward. I know, Madam Chairperson, that the issue of the increase of electricity is very topical, especially after the removal of subsidies. But also when we look at, for instance, electricity tariffs, we know that there are, let's talk about fuel. The price of fuel is driven by two fundamental factors. One are the international oil prices, and the two is the exchange rate. Now, if you look at the trend now, we are seeing that Kwacha is gaining. The past few hours, the past few days, the Kwacha is gaining. And economists are projecting that it may even go to as low as 10. As to whether that is true or not, that's a topic for another day. So with that, Honorable Minister, I want to say there is no need to increase the price of fuel, because with the gain in the strength of the Kwacha, it should be able to mitigate against, the removal of subsidies. So, honorable members, Madam Chairperson, the removal of the subsidy on fuel should not directly translate to the increase in fuel. So we are saying, yes, once we can debate on the electricity tariff, I think there is no debate on the fuel because it's driven by these two factors. I'm remaining sensitive going forward that should, due to unforeseen circumstances, the Kwacha lose strength against the dollar, yes, it may be justifiable to make an adjustment on the cost of fuel. But as it stands now, I don't think Zambians should panic. I think that the Minister of Finance and the Minister of Energy will be very prudent in ensuring that there is no increase in the cost of fuel, because the dollar is going down. So there could be some anxiety on the electricity tariffs. I may not comment much, but on the fuel, based on the strength that the Kwacha has posted in the past few hours, I don't think we should worry about that increase in fuel. And I know that Honorable Msokotwane and the Energy Minister are very prudent when it comes to implementing some of these things. We therefore look forward to a steady price of fuel.
Thank you, Mr. Twasa.
Madam Chairperson, thank you very much for yet another opportunity to debate this head. Minister, the Ministry of Finance has perpetually overburdened itself with a lot of responsibilities, and one of them is where we find that it has taken over the responsibility of dismantling debt or maybe working with contractors almost in all the market sectors. It would have been prudent, Honorable Minister, if you wind off some of these responsibilities. Already, right now, there's a lot of talk on this area over the contracts, road contracts that have been going on. We've seen genuine contractors, Zambian contractors, being frustrated because of the excitement from members of parliament on the right. Every player in the market is deemed a thief just because they got that contract in the PF government, which is not the case. We forget that what we are seeing now, even the records show that only 5% of the Zambian of the contracts in the road sector are done by Zambians. 95% is given to foreigners. Yet, there is too much noise, even on these 5% of the Zambian contractors. So we are not seeing respect for the sector players, especially our Zambian contractor, which is the country that they are supposed to be proud of, the country where they are supposed to carry out their...
Honorable Member, as the time is 16:40 hours, I suspend business for 20 minutes for health break.
Suspended for 20 minutes until 17 hours, and under consideration is
on when the Committee of Supply resumed committee work, we had Head 21, Loans and Investments, Ministry of Finance and National Planning considered, and also we had Head 53.
Welcome wherever you are on Planet Football.
You can go anywhere in the world, but nobody feels football like we do.
There's no feeling like that feeling!
It's personal knowledge. It's football or nothing.
Had a look, had a hit! Oh! What a finish!
Football. Le football.
soccer.
Goal of a lifetime!
Wallon Kafa.
Splendid football! With the champagne on ice. Not done yet!
Nothing beats that.
Nothing compares to DSTV's unbeatable football offering. So stay connected to watch the best football on the planet.
It's against this backdrop that Kapa and Chalimbana University are about to sign a memorandum of understanding to train parliamentarians in leadership and governance. Members of Parliament undertook a visit and engagement at Chalimbana University in Chongwe. Teachers and traditional leaders. It is worth noting that prominent professionals have passed through this institution. Notable among these are Zambia's first president, Dr. Kenneth Kaunda, the late State Counsel John Manakatwe, and the late former president of Zimbabwe, Mr. Robert Mugabe, of a piece to acquire more knowledge and skills in good governance.
I would like to point out that the prospect of citizens being actively engaged in the management of public affairs, public service officers, and the general citizenry. Honorable members, ladies and gentlemen, I'm reliably informed that the purpose of this familiarization program undertaken today is to appreciate the efforts of Chalimbana University, which has excelled in crafting innovative and locally significant training programs, such as the devise an opportunity for training partnership that would enhance training of honorable members of parliament in leadership and governance. Since knowledge acquisition is cumulative beyond our borders for members of parliament in Southern Africa as well.
And Chalimbana University Vice Chancellor Dr. Geoffrey Tambulukani said he's looking forward to
the Coalition of African Parliamentarians Against HIV/AIDS, Kapa, and Chalimbana University, aimed at capacity building the university personnel, is the building of consensus on the need to develop and market the learning program for members of parliament in Zambia and beyond in Africa. The follow-up to this important meeting should be a memorandum of to play this very important role. We are ready to start running.
Education Minister Honorable Douglas Siakalima said government is determined to support the university
for devoting their professional lives to making this university a place of integrity, service, and excellency. Madam Speaker, I wish to recommend leadership and governance, as they already have experience with the diploma program for traditional leaders. I should commend management and the staff on the many things that they have made as an institution. Despite the inadequate student space in the university, this institution has great potential and opportunities to develop in various aspects. The government, through the Ministry of Education,
Defense Minister and Chairperson of the Coalition for African Parliamentarians Against HIV/AIDS, Honorable Ambrose Lufuma, urged the general populace to heed the advice provided by health experts on the need to observe COVID-19 regulations and engage in good health-seeking behavior.
Clear that the high HIV prevalence among young people as a source of concern is a source of concern, Besides the two health challenges, they cause numerous hospitalization and increase the healthcare burden. In view of the above, it is my sincere hope that our people and society in general will heed the advice provided by health experts on the need to observe coronavirus protocols and engage in good health-seeking behavior, due to the fact that people on our part, we mobilize political commitment, investment and efforts around the program of action.
And Lands Minister Honorable Elijah Muchima promised to quicken the process of issuance of title deeds.
We are here, and be rest assured, finish all the requirements, in all the things done, you come with a title deed.